Friends, we all sitting here, we have some passion in our life. I lived my part of it. My interest to preserve, conserve, and document heritage took me around and made me live my passion. It's been 23 years that since my graduation, I'm a part of it. Each one of us, we do know what's an heritage. But do we know how to be aware about it, how to conserve it, how to work on it? As a citizen, as a countryman, as a native, what's our role? Each one of us have a wonderful past and a very fond childhood memory. We went for picnic with our family members, with our teachers, with our school, and so on and so forth with our friends. So many fond moments where we saw some ancient building or a temple next to a small lake, a village, our grandparents' houses, dwellings, and many of them. What did they touch you? How did they work on you? They had wonderful architecture. They had those wooden structures. They had those mud houses, the sloping roof. Each one of them was working on you marvelously. Similar to that, I belonged to an army family and I studied in Regimental and Kendriya Vidyalaya School of Central Government, which is administered by Indian Army. Past that, when I was in a post-retirement stay with my parents, we lived in cantonment civil area where we were close to a market which was a weekly market called Thursday Market. I was very curious. Every time this Thursday market used to near, I used to be very excited to go and see the people around. The way the village men come from across to sell their crop, their grains, their groceries, and other goods, the cattle, the kind of attire, the way they talk, the way they look, everything was very interesting to me. There was an old lady who used to come to sell rat poison. I just happened to meet her. With the hobby of numismatism and philately from my class batchmates, I started seeing some coins with her. I asked her, can you sell them to me? That's how she gave it to me, and I gave whatever I had with me. With little collections of school days which we had, every Thursday I was very excited to see this lady and give it whatever I have and take from her what she brings. She started bringing more coins for me. That was a time when some coins had no prints on them, no names, and when I buy from them as a small piece of metal, she used to say, this is not just a piece of metal. They belong to various kingships like the Babur, Cholas, Tipu Sultan, Akbar, and so forth and so on. Then came the subject of history in school days with Ramayana, Mahabharata, and various kingships. All these kings which this lady named started coming in my educational curriculum. Things started getting more curious for me. That's when I joined architecture with my passion of art, and I topped in the entrance exam with 173 students, and I felt that this is my field. I started studying history of architecture under the guidance of dedicated professors. That's when, in the final year, I decided, let me work and document the 52 gates of Aurangabad. This city was having 52 gates. The city was called 52 Darwaze, 52 Khidkiyan, or 52 Puron ka Sheher. Imagine the beauty that so many gates existed here once. What made them build so much? 5 fortification walls. The gate which led to Paitan was called as Paitan Gate. The one which led to north was called as Delhi Darwaza. The one facing Holy Mecca was called as Makki Gate. The one facing rising sun was called as Khas Darwaza or Jalna Darwaza as well. They were situated on 4 cardinal points. I started getting curious, meeting people, talking to elderly men. Books were mere part of study for me. I got curious to interact with people and talk to them. My professors told, Abraham, this is a very humongous topic that you're taking as a student, which has to be completed in just 4 months. But I didn't take my step back. I told them, sir, let me take 1 year drop and complete this. In 1.5 years, I documented all the existing gates through 158 handmade drawings when technology was not in existence. No AutoCAD. Everything was manually gone. No laser meters, no geometric situations and all. I had to go physically with some friends with me and measure and draw them. That's how my journey through my life started. I started getting curious about this city and place. I started thinking why India was called as Sone ki Chidiya. All of you have learned in history. Sone ki chidiya, the golden bird. Name the kingship and the dynasties which came and ruled this nation. The Greeks, the Roman, the Persian, the British, the French, the Portuguese, you name them, all came here. What was it which made them leave their personal families, their own states, and come all across, braving the sea and the odds of life? Was it the treasure all around, the gold in the country? It was the golden bird, or the minerals, or the natural treasures all around? We have, my friends, 4 proper climates: rain, winter, autumn, summer. Many of the countries are devoid of it. Don't you think we are lucky and fortunate to have them? What we have, sometimes we really don't regard, and those who don't, they really understand. I had the opportunity to serve in Shimla, the winter capital of the British. I learned how difficult it is to survive without sun. Everybody is just craving when the sun rises and when do we stand in the sun. Then I started learning that I should document my own city and work on them. Malik Ambar, a king, the Prime Minister of Murtuza Shah Nizam II, was in this city, and he found the city in 1604. He was an Afro-Indian, an Abyssinian. Imagine the beauty. He came all the way from Africa as a slave and formed a great empire around him. He built the structure Bhadkal Gate, which was a symbol of victory. As according to the construction techniques of column beam structure of Bhadkal Gate, the technology was taken, and in 1654, Taj Mahal was built in the memory of Mumtaz Mahal by Shah Jahan in Agra. The architect was Ustad Ahmad Lahori from Iran. Look at the wonderful connect from Iran, Agra, Aurangabad. How did it all happen? Then came the construction technology coming back to Aurangabad, and in 1668, Bibi Ka Maqbara was built by Aurangzeb and further completed by his son Azam Shah in the memory of his mother Dilraz Bano Begum, who was born in Iran in Safavid dynasty. She was further daughter to the Viceroy of Gujarat. Now again the connect increases: Iran, Agra, Gujarat, and Aurangabad. After that, the Malik Ambar, he built 14 underground water channel systems, of which one he took to Panchakki. Panchakki is a tomb of Baba Shah Musafir, who came all the way from the place called Gazdavan, Bukhara, which was in Russia and now in Uzbekistan. He came in the search of spirituality. Imagine the people. They used to travel and brave all the odds, the wild animals, the forest, the dense places. They used to travel across and reach to this region. And that's when he came here and gave up his life at Panchakki. As we all know that there are some disciples, he had his nephew as his disciple. He came all the way again from Gazdavan, Russia. Friends, no GPRS, no technology, he could search his uncle. And he came and gave up his life again at the same place, which rests in Panchakki. After understanding this particular technology, they were provided to 14 villages, a wonderful underground water channel system. This city has experienced so many kingships in the past, and the dynasties. Name them: Rashtrakutas, Vatakas, Shalivahans, Satvahans, Mughals, Nizams, Bahamanis, Marathas, British. You name them, they all were here. Why was this city important? The city was titled as Khujishta Bunyad. Khujishta Bunyad, very less people know. Through this coin collection hobby of mine, I happened to go to Bombay once, and I bought a very old book, a copy of it, in which one page was about Aurangabad. I could not read Persian language or Arabic language. I asked the gentleman there, can you please read it for me? He said Aurangabad's old name was Khujishta Bunyad. When I spoke to people, they said, sorry, this name never existed. Recently, when I checked with Wikipedia, I saw the same name appearing there, and the knowledge goes correct. The city was later titled as Fatehpur in the name of Khan Jahan Fateh, later Khadki and Aurangabad. The city has marvels around it. Out of the 12 Jyotirlingas, we have Krishneshwar temple here. We have marvelous Ajanta and Ellora caves, which are the rock-cut temples. We have 52 gates. We have the Lonar crater next to it, the second largest crater in the world. How many of us have visited it? Don't you think it's a site worth research? The moment crater fell there, the entire periphery of the crater has come up through medicinal plants. So many botanical researchers are working there. The sulfur level, the pH level is 4 times higher than the water. Such are the places which we amass around us. The rock cut architecture, wherein generally we build every building from ground to top, we're built from top to bottom. No chance of any correction, no repetition, no erasing. Once done is the final outcome. Even when we today go and visit these wonderful rock cut caves of Ajanta and Ellora caves, even Aurangabad caves, which is stationed very close to Bibi Ka Maqbara, we touch and see how they are. The beads, the floral patterns, the reliefs, every one of us, we are equally excited to touch them, and we talk to each other how beautiful they are. How did it happen? It's a collective outcome of many artisans who came across the region, and they used to build these heritage sites, maybe on the orders of the kings, or for their passion, or for their livelihood, but they used to do it very sincerely. Look at the paintings, the kind of intricate work which they did. Maharashtra has 400 forts, more than them. How many of us have visited all these forts? India has much more than that. So many states, so much of history, so much of culture. Each and every country around, we do house these heritage sites. Only the need is that we need to be aware of them, we need to preserve them, and we need to work upon them. In 2012, I was fortunate to travel to Amritsar and work on the Heritage Walk of Amritsar. That's when I understood that the city where I visited in 2009 with my wife called me back for a Thanksgiving maybe. I went and saw this place in 2009, and I was fortunate to document around 14 heritage sites of the Heritage Walk. It was a wonderful experience of documenting them. The drawings were interestingly prepared. That is when even my knowledge went far ahead, and I started learning that it's not only important to conserve, preserve, and heritage, but we need to document them. How do we document them? We have to prepare drawings, or we have to take photographs. Pictorial documentation or the drawings, they are the means which teach us how to preserve them for the next generation, to whom we have to showcase that where we came from. Don't you think, friends, we travel across, we take selfies. What is more important when we take the images? The person who clicks us, or the one who is posing for it, or the heritage site behind us? Don't you think it requires to be taken care of? Any small damage to us, any small injury, we run to the doctors and get ourselves treated. Similar to that, we need to attend these heritage sites in the best possible manner, preserve them for the next generation, to inform them where we come from. In 2003, a gate out of the 52 gates was being demolished unknowingly by the people around. I happened to get a phone call from my friend, and he said, "Sir, one of the gate on which you are working is going to be leveled to earth today." I asked him which was that. That was Khas Darwaza, the one facing the rising sun. I reached there, more than 450 people. I spoke to them. I got into them. I said, "Please stop all those bulldozers and JCBs, and I want to interact with you for a moment." I asked them that if we are demolishing this, all of us, we need to make a list of everybody present here, the municipal authorities, the traffic police, the police squad, the demolition squad, the public, all of us. I said, let's make a team and let us put this down. Tomorrow we'll go to Panchaki. It's a little larger size. We will demolish it, and it may take maybe a few weeks, but we'll see to it, we put it to earth. Then I said that let's go further to Bibi Ka Maqbara. It may take 6 months or maybe more, but we'll take all the efforts, we'll put it down, and then we'll move further ahead to the Aurangabad fort. They all started looking at me, staring, and thinking that, what is this man talking about? I said, "Did you build this?" They said, "No." I said, "Who built it?" They said, "Our ancestors." I said, "Then what's your duty? As a grandchild or a later generation, to put this down? Or if it is half standing, you can build the rest out?" I said, "Is it not that what you need to do?" They all wrote a maafinama and they gave it to us. Based on that, through persuasions, through intact, it was taken to the High Court, and an Heritage Act was announced for Aurangabad. Friends, it's an urge we need to have from our inside. It's very important, something very sensitive. We all know an heritage structure is just like an old parent in the house. A simple liner for that: if you love your heritage, you will love your parents and grandparents, the aged and the ailing parents. If you don't, it will be the same. It's very important that we need to understand. Talk about all these heritage sites which is calling us and telling us, please come, take care of us. May the damage being caused knowingly, unknowingly, natural or man-made, we need to take care of them, we need to preserve them, or very soon the time will come when we will say, there were dinosaurs. You got the message? We say there were dinosaurs. Maybe asteroids or whatever the reason, they all got over. One fine day, if you don't protect these heritage sites, it will be the same for them as well. And then it will be only the subject of research, and the kids coming and the generations will say, oh, daddy and grandfather is just bluffing, there was nothing like this. So we need to be aware of them, and we need to understand how important it is. Just try to understand that they have faced all odds of life. And what we need to do is, we need to just protect them. They have stood all the braves, and we just need to be cautious, understanding that what exactly needs to be done. They have braved the rain, the wind, and each and every climatic situation. What are we supposed to do? We people are just supposed to maintain them. Maybe we don't have to build anymore. Only thing is, we can find some replications. We can just copy some architectural elements which are very impressive. And we do always say, I want a house like a Vada in Maharashtra, or a stone structure, or anything similar to that, with wonderful arches, wonderful courtyards. Where did they all come from? It comes from our past. They are scientifically built, they are climatology-wise perfect, and by all means, very well suited for the region. Let's thank our ancestors and be sincere guardians to heritage in the coming days, to protect them, preserve them, and to take it to the next generation. Thank you.